Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
The Los Angeles Lakers are almost every creator's favorite team to talk about, because for some reason they draw hella views whenever they are talked about. And today we're about to talk about, speak on, gossip over the Los Angeles Lakers. It feels like everyone has been doing that recently, because a lot has been going on within this organization. They just won an NBA championship, and just about a lot of creators on this platform and analysts swore up and down that they wouldn't win the NBA championship, and they ended up winning. They did it in great and memorable fashion as well, with a lot of performances that will be remembered for the rest of our lives. And a month after that, they were out here throwing haymakers this offseason, left to right, with back-to-back great signings. They were heavy hitters, but there's one sour thing, one sour piece that may make their season bitter: the X Factor. It's about that time again, ladies and gentlemen, or actually maybe just gentlemen. The time where a lot of draftees, specifically from the 2017 NBA draft class, are getting paid this summer. Guys like Bam Adebayo, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and De'Aaron Fox, and soon to be others like John Collins and Lonzo Ball, once they figure out the X's and O's in their contracts, will be getting long-term deals with their teams. Now, sitting down watching the 2017 NBA draft class, a lot of players from that draft class at least get paid this summer, leads me to wonder, one of the most talked about rookies from that draft class, Kyle Kuzma, like, yo, what's up with him? Is he gonna get paid or what? Kuz has had one of the more odd 3-year careers so far in the NBA that we've ever seen. Man's went from being viewed as a steal and one of the 5 best players out of his draft class just like 2 years ago to one of the worst, or not one of the worst, but one of the more disliked players in the entire NBA universe. He literally went from polar opposite ends. The way he swayed things leaves me clueless and just has me asking questions. How on the earth does someone this talented go from being one of the more liked players to one of the more disliked players, not only to Lakers fans but also to the NBA world? Well, first things first is that I remember one of the biggest issues about Kyle Kuzma, not really about him and his game. He was doing his thing, don't get me wrong, but his fans, specifically Lakers fans, would overrate the living hell out of him. I swear to God, with the way some Lakers fans were talking about him, you'd think that, you know what I'm saying, these Lakers fans would take things to the extreme and do even the unthinkable. They'd say things like how Kuzma is better than Jason Tatum, and we all know that that's tremendous cap of the year, might I say, now that we look back at it 2-3 years ago. But like I was trying to say, with the way that Lakers fans were obsessed with that man Kyle Kuzma, would make me think that these Lakers fans, you know, be dreaming about drinking this man's bathwater at night. Now I get it, considering where all these Lakers fans came from watching that man Robert Sacre, Jordan Hill, you know, just a whole bunch of nobodies, like 70, 65 overalls on, you know, 2K. To someone like Kyle Kuzma, who was a demon in Summer League and went out and won Summer League MVP, averaging 16 points and 6 rebounds in his rookie year in the NBA, looking like a vet right out of the womb, with, by the way, great efficiency, and playing with that cocky Lakers confidence that all Lakers fans love, stole their hearts. And it was on sight too. I never seen anybody fall in love with anybody else that fast. So that's year 1 for Kyle Kuzma. It was basically a fairy tale. Next season comes along and there are major roster changes happening. When I say roster changes happening, I mean LeBron James comes into town. And because of the type of hooper Kyle Kuzma is, it benefited him. Back in the day, and for sure as hell right now, Kyle Kuzma is not the one to, you know, like his ISOs or want to post up players willingly or create his own shot in any form or any way. He likes his shot created for him. He's a receiver, not a giver. His averages saw a rise and he put up 19 points per game, but his 3-point percentage took a dip, which is really odd, and one of the first red flags that I saw about Kyle Kuzma and the type of player that he was and could be in the future. Still a great year for Kyle Kuzma though. Nobody can take away nothing from him and his first year playing with LeBron James. He did his job, he did what he was asked to do, and that was basically be the best off-ball player that he could possibly be next to LeBron James. And for Kyle Kuzma, that's cash money all day. That's what he is. He was in fact so great and so seamless of a fit next to LeBron James that, hey, a lot of people thought at the moment, which is ludicrous to me, that Kyle Kuzma was a better player than Brandon Ingram, when in reality that was not the case at all. And Brandon Ingram just needed the ball more, and he's more of a creator rather than an off-ball player. Things could not gone any better for Kyle Kuzma in his first and second year in the NBA. But here we are now in the year 2020, and to put it in the nicest way, bro, let me take that back, because ain't nothing really sweet, ain't nothing really nice about the year 2020, bro. He was bad, he was horrible, he was atrocious on the court most of the time when he was on the court for the Los Angeles Lakers. Put it plain and simple, he just sucks at basketball, or at least that's what it seems like whenever he's on the courts with Anthony Davis. He put up roughly 20 a game whenever Anthony Davis wasn't playing, and with that set that I just gave you, that leaves not only me, but it must leave you to this question: where does his future lie on the Los Angeles Lakers? This man for sure definitely sees his peers getting a bag, and of course he should be feeding for one too. It's just human nature. Whenever we see someone around our age group or our race or anything of the slightest way that we can draw similarities from anybody else, we start to get jealous. Not on purpose or in an envious way, but as people, as humans, or at least for dudes and how we are, we want to do just as good or maybe even better than people of your age group and all your peers. What ruined Kyle Kuzma and the big bag that he expected to receive on the Los Angeles Lakers is that man Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, inadvertently, none of this was done on purpose or meant to sabotage for any of you weirdos thinking it like that. AD just ended up exposing Kyle Kuzma's skill set out there on the court. What they needed Kyle Kuzma to do and be on a at least consistent level was be a secondary or thirdary is just not a word, or third ball handler on the court, and he couldn't even do that on a consistent basis. For the most part, he's not a passer. Sure, he has his flashes here and there, at least like 1 out of every 25 plays, but he's not known as a good or great accurate passer in any way, shape, or form. When it comes to creating his own shot, bro, that's not his game. If you give the ball to Kyle Kuzma and expect him to do some nice ISO play, isolation play, and score by himself, bro, that's not a good look at all. And now when it comes to his defense, bro, we've been all knew that he was trash as hell from that end of the floor as well. And now this past year, this man completely exposed himself by showcasing how good of a shooter he is actually on the Los Angeles Lakers and in the NBA in general. This man is not a good shooter at all. How do I know that? Look at his free throw percentage. He always shot in the low 70s, not only in the NBA, but I also believe back in college too. So that just goes to show that this man is not a great shooter or even a reliable shooter at all. He just had one good year of shooting pretty well from the three-point line. I believe that may have been either his rookie year or his second year in the NBA, and he shot like 36%, which is just a tick over league average. So all those very worrisome and troublesome things about him and his game. How much is he worth? Well, in my eyes, he may be worth just about some like 9 to 12 million a year. I don't know. I got a couple questions though. Would he take that deal? Is he worth that deal? I don't really know the answer to both of those questions. But what I do know is that the Lakers have 4 options that they could roll with in the future when it comes to dealing with Kyle Kuzma in his future. The first option is to give him a fair deal that they could both agree on, maybe something like 10 to 12, max $15 million a year for him, or they can wait it out this season and let Kuz try to bet on himself and prove himself this season by showing that he's just not some mid Jeff Green-ish type player, and he's actually a young, versatile, valuable wing player these days in the NBA that everybody of course loves. Or they could end up trading him to some other team that sees potential in him, but if they do decide to trade him, it'll have to be about 20 to 30 games, maybe 40. I don't know when the trade deadline is going to happen because this whole season is just screwed up. But 20 to 30 games in, depending on how he performs, some team can bite into this bait that the Lakers are offering out on the table, and some other team could believe in the Kyle Kuzma hype and invest into this young man right here. To be honest, I feel like that may be the most realistic option for Kyle Kuzma. I don't see him having a real future on the Los Angeles Lakers, and that really sucks to say because this man was once a fan favorite, and now he's someone that a lot of fans just want to go ahead and get rid of. I think Kyle Kuzma is a good player. Well, he's not good right now, but he can be a good player, but he is just not the type of player that you'd want on a winning team because he can't contribute to winning teams. I believe he's more of a empty stats type player. That is the definition of Kyle Kuzma. Y'all be trying to say, oh, Trae Young, empty stats. Oh, Devin Booker, Carl Anthony Towns, empty stats. No, that's not the case at all. Kyle Kuzma is a loser's basketball type of player. He plays losing basketball. If this man Kyle Kuzma goes out to some other team averaging 20, 21, 22 points, great stats, but just know that that team is probably on the losing side of things. That's what the Lakers were when they had Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and those boys. They were in the lottery consistently until, well, actually when LeBron James got there the first year, he was still in the lottery. But you know what I'm saying. As soon as they started playing a winning brand of basketball and expect Kyle Kuzma to do these ultra positive things on the court, he can't do it. He's disabled when it comes to that. So I think Kyle Kuzma is a losing player. But the amount of unknown things with this 25-year-old, wait, hold on. He's He's 25 years old? Damn, that's depressing. That is pain. But with the amount of unknown things to him and just how much he can increase the Lakers' ceiling as a team is why he is the biggest X factor for the Los Angeles Lakers so far or going into this season. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on this channel and even viewing what I have to talk about today. For those who watch me on a consistent basis, I just want to say that I really appreciate you. For those who DM me on IG and show me how fast you got to watch my video, again, I really appreciate you. Shout out to every single one of you out there. I'm going to be going hard. As you guys can see, I've been more consistent, and I just hope that you guys keep the same consistency with me, or if you haven't been consistent with me, start being consistent, because bro, I'm starting to be consistent with you. Give me that same energy. Leave a like on this video. I hope that we can get at least 900 likes on this video, 1,000 if I'm keeping it real. So go ahead and leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, leave that, turn on that Mojofication bell. But outside of everything that I just said, I just really do hope that you go ahead and make your day great. Outside of that, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the shirt, free the way, told my girl who'd ever